So the problem is very relevant today because as we all know, you should wear face mask. So for instance, if you, in that problem, which is the wear your face mask campaign, wear your face mask campaign, there are certain set of rules in terms of your fees so that you will be guided on how much you will be paying for, let's say for example, for some subsequent violations or for some in-order violations or parang sunod-sunod na violations that you have incurred. Okay, for example, in that particular problem, we are given with the first offense. I think that's very important that you know. Again, this problem will not be about face mask. It could also be applied to different violation problems like jaywalking, etc. Okay, so the first offense you will be paying 500 pesos, and then for every subsequent offenses. When you say subsequent, this pertains to the events that happen after a particular event. For example, you incur the first offense, you will be of not wearing face mask, then you will pay 500. For subsequent offenses, it means like how about for the second offense, third offense, etc., etc. So let's try to list down the different amounts for each offense. Okay, so for example, you have first offense. How much are you going to pay? I think that's already given, but later let's just first try to list down all. So for the second offense, how much? For the third offense, how much? Fourth, fifth, and sixth offense. So these are the amounts that you're going to compute for. Okay, so of course, the first offense is already given. You will be paying 500 pesos, so that's a big amount. So always wear your face mask, okay? So you will be paying 500 pesos. But the problem is, what about for the second offense? Try to pause this video and try to analyze how are you going to solve for that given the following data. Oh, sorry, this should be 100 pesos. Okay? Alright. Okay. Of course, if you have the second offense, that will just be what? 500 plus, of course, 100 pesos. So in total, you'll just be adding, for example, this will be you were caught not wearing face for the second time, therefore you will be paying 600 pesos. Okay? What about for the third offense? What do you think will be the solution? Try to pause this video and think of it. Of course, you are going to have 500 pesos. And then, of course, since you have already paid, this will be your third offense. Therefore, you will be benchmarking or you will be having this as your basis. Of course, this is the third offense. Of course, as you all know, the fees should be increasing. So therefore, if you have 600 pesos in total here, you will be adding additional 100 pesos for a total of what? 700 pesos. That's already a big amount, okay? So now, what about if you will be looking for the fourth one? Okay, so let's just say that you are not going to write explicitly as long as this one. So how are we going to do that? So we are just like what we did here. We write this. So this will be similar, right? So therefore, it is okay for us just to write 700 pesos plus 100 pesos. That will give you a total of 800 pesos, right? So now, for the fifth one, we will also do that. So that will be 800 pesos plus 100 pesos. Therefore, you will be paying 900 pesos for the fifth offense already. And I hope you will not be going to jail for this because this will be the fifth time already. So don't always wear your face mask, guys. Okay? When you go out. Now, the sixth one will be 900 pesos plus 100 pesos. It will give you 1,000 pesos already. So as you can see, we were able to compute for the different amount for each subsequent offense, which is very important in our problem because of course, we need to compute for all so that the community members will be guided on how much they will be paying for each subsequent offense and of course for the first offense. Okay? So now, since we're discussing sequences, it is important that we know the different amount per offense. Okay? So let me just go here and try to. I'll just write it here. Okay. So let's try to make a table for the amounts. Okay. Of course, you have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth offense. Okay? So, and then you'll just go to try to less than all, so that will be 500. Let's just put the peso sign here so that we'll just be dealing with the numerical value. So 500, and then 600, 700, 800, 900, and then 1,000 pesos. Okay? So now, we all know that sequences are list of numbers. Sequences, this is our big idea here, sequences. So this is sequences, this is an arranged, an ordered list of numbers. Whereas you can determine the relationship of the numbers by trying to investigate the gaps, or let's just call it the gaps, okay? The gaps per number, okay? And then, as you all know, you can identify if this is sequence if there is an observable pattern, okay? So the sequence is another big idea here is pattern, of course. There is an observed pattern in the list of numbers. Okay, now let's try to see if this particular list here would be constituting a sequence. Okay, so let's just try to identify if this is a sequence. Okay, so now we have here from 100, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. As you all know, this is the domain of the list. When this sequence, this is an ordered list of numbers, whereas domains are always positive integers, of course. This will be what? First is always what? It is denoted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we say domain, this is the set of X in the given. This will be the Y. Okay? Now, let's try to see if this is a list. It is checked. The domains are positive. Okay? Wala namang negative first. Wala namang zeroth position. Wala tayong ganun dito. Okay? So now we have this particular numbers. Let's try to see if this constitutes a sequence. How do you do that? You try to find the relationships between the numbers. Okay? For you to get 600 and for 500, for you to go to 600, you will what? You have, of course, 100 as the gap. Why? Because according to the problem, for each subsequent offense, you will be paying 100 pesos, right? Based on our problem. Now, let's try to see if this is observable in all of that for us to say that this is a sequence. Okay. So now let's have this. So this is also 100. For you to get 700, from 600 you have to add 100. And that is also based on our problem earlier. Now, for you to get 800, you have to add 100 from 700, and then add 100 to get 900, and then add 100 to get 1,000 pesos. Okay, kindly take note that we added a fixed number. Take note of that for later. We added a fixed number because according to let's go back to the notion of to the premise of the problem, that we have to add 100 pesos for each subsequent offense. Therefore, we come up with this table again, and then we realize that yes, it is indeed a sequence because there is an observed pattern. But in this case, it is fixed, and we add it to the previous one. Okay? So now, so that will be the that solves the problem. And for the next video, we will be dealing with more examples of this particular sequence that deals with an added. The terms are solved by adding a fixed number. Okay? So watch the next video.